Time for the 49ers Rush Podcast.
Coming in at number 74 on our roster countdown was last year's kind of everybody's favorite undrafted free agent, Drake Nugent. It's very well known that Jake Brendel is not a fan favorite. And even though the 49ers get tremendous value with him, and he's one of the lowest paid centers, Iron Man, all those things, just the amount of busted plays and just highlight real plays that he gives up against other teams has made guys like Drake Nugent, who was an undrafted free agent out of Michigan, transferred from Stanford, really, really high up. Last year, he was number 66, and people were hoping he could kind of fight for that position to start. Well, he's dropped 8 spots on the 2025 roster countdown, all the way down from 66 to 74. Not the way that you want to go, but I'm going to be very honest. That drop has nothing to do with Drake Nugent and has all to do with the fact that the 49ers brought over Matt Hennessy at the end of last year, retained him over the offseason, and so now there's more competition for that backup center role. And so I think Drake Nugent had a good year last year. We'll detail all of that. And his rankings on all 4 of, Zach, Ben, Josh, myself, we rank 1 through 91. He had 75, 67, 85, and 69. Came out to number 74. So he's a center, wears jersey number 66, 6'1". He's a small guy, 298. That's probably his biggest issue, is that there's not a lot of 6'1" centers. There's not a lot of sub 300 centers. You could be short and you could be light, but being short and light, that's why he's an undrafted free agent. His tape is much better than his measurables come out. But arm length, 33.25-inch arms, that's great. 24 years old, ran a 5.2 40. That's decent, not great. A 1.8 10-yard split, which not great again, but then you look at that short shuttle, which the 49ers, Chris Forrester, Kyle Shanahan value so much. He ran a 4.50 20-yard short shuttle. That's the Niners' kind of unofficial target line for the offensive line, especially interior offensive line. So while the straight line speed and short and undersized, those are red flags, he can move. He can move side to side. 7.33 cone's great. Basically just right at a 30-inch vertical, cool. 8.5 broad jump, not great. Bench press 25 bench press reps, solid. And you put in all of his measurables in the mockdraftable.com, website, and the comps are Brian Allen, Chad Hamilton, Jason Gamble, all undersized guys that have good athleticism. That's what he is. I mean, this is a Jake Brendel type trajectory where he's just missing key traits: height, weight, speed. They're just not there, and that's why he's undrafted. Now, he's going into his second season. He was with the 49ers all last year. Played all of his high school ball in Highland Ranch High School in Lone Tree, Colorado. Played both offense, defense, and all Colorado player, not once but twice. Really, really good tape. And then he chose to go to Stanford. So, he's been around the San Francisco area. He was there from 2019 to 2022. Started 24 consecutive games at center. And, man, selected twice as Pac-12 academic honor roll, so intelligence, off the charts. Shanahan loves that with his centers because in the 49ers scheme, in the Shanahan scheme, the center has a lot more on him than most other teams. So, and this has gotten a lot of ridicule this offseason. I kind of think it's a little overblown personally, but it's the center in Kyle Shanahan's system that makes all of the line adjustment calls, not the quarterback. The quarterback's responsible for audibling play choice, but he doesn't switch offensive line protection. That's up to the center. So intelligence is such a big deal for the 49ers, and Drake Nugent checks that box easily. Now, in December of 2022, Nugent elected to transfer from Stanford, where he was a captain, plugged-in starter, all those things. He went to the University of Michigan, started 15 games for Michigan and played for them, first-team All-Big Ten, Remington Trophy finalist, and they won the championship that year. He was the starting center for that last Michigan run under Harbaugh, all those things. Now, his family, they've got football notes all in them. His father, Terry, played quarterback at Colorado State, was a 6th-round pick for the Browns back in 1984. Uncle Brian played football at Washington State, so he kind of knows what it takes. He was ranked the 17th center coming out of high school, and 3-time state champion in the shot put. So I love the competition and all those things. And again, that upper body strength. You saw the 25 bench press reps. Stanford team captain, all Pac-12 honorable mention, not once but twice. Academic honor roll, all those things. And whenever he went to Michigan, he only got better. Won the national championship. But here's some crazy stats from Drake Nugent's last time he played, which was college ball. He has the 11th most offensive snaps at center ever. 2,300 plus. There's a part of this is the COVID and all that stuff, so he gets an extra year. Now, of his 1,293 pass plays in college, only 10 pressures. That's a 0.8% pressure rate. And that translated to the NFL because in his time in the preseason, he was incredible. He had an 84.2 pass pro blocking grade through the preseason. He didn't play any in the regular season, 0 snaps in the regular season. But, like, pass pro is what this guy brings. The issue is that run game. And it's kind of weird because it's a little antithetical to Chris Forster and Kyle Shanahan. Usually they go after guys that can run block no matter what. Pass block, we'll make it work. Drake Nugent doesn't fit that. He's an elite pass blocking guy that struggles in the run game. He had a 49 grade in the run blocking in the preseason. Only played 99 snaps through the preseason, but got action in all 3 preseasons. Had a 54 overall grade, not good. 84.2 pass pro, great. 49 run blocking, bad. And that's why he's not ready. And that's why the 49ers elected to bring in Matt Hennessy as kind of that backup role. And I think that's kind of the issue. Now, he signed his future reserve contract on January 6, 2025, which means they wanted him here, but there's competition there. He got a 1-year, $840,000 deal, 0 guaranteed this year. Last year, had $190,000 guaranteed as an undrafted free agent, 0 this year. How much do you make as an undrafted free agent whenever you never get activated? You make $446,000, which would have been even lower if not for that $190 guarantee as an undrafted free agent. So he made $446,000 last year. He's brought back on a minimum deal, and again played 0 games last year. Never, and that is the positive to Jake Brendel is he's an Ironman. He's tough as hell. What's going to happen to Drake Nugent this year? I think they want to keep him on the practice squad, but man, if Matt Hennessy, it depends on what they're going to do with the offensive line. Because if Matt Hennessy makes the active roster, all right, well, then there's a spot for Drake Nugent on the practice squad. If Matt Hennessy does not make that 53-man roster, there's no way you're carrying not 1 but 2 centers on the practice squad. I just don't see that taking place. Maybe they do that, but it's just difficult. So not so much what Drake Nugent hasn't done or has done. It just, the competition got harder at that position because they brought in Matt Hennessy. There's a chance Drake Nugent doesn't, I don't think that he has a chance to make the 53 unless there's a major injury. But if he gets cut, don't be shocked if another team like the Chargers, Harbaugh, who played for him before, brings him over on the practice squad. I really hope that the 49ers are able to retain him at least on the practice squad this year, which I think is where he's going to be and why he's number 74 on our countdown list this year. I just don't see 53 in his window. But if he can outperform Matt Hennessy and prove that, you know, this is somebody that we don't even want a chance to let go. Jake Brendel's 30-plus years old. We'll see. But I think Matt Hennessy's going to win that job. So I got my fingers crossed for Drake Nugent because he's got things that just make him like, yeah, we can work with that. And that's pass protection. And the amount of experience he had, the leadership, the intelligence. Check. Can he catch on in the run game? Very important training camp for Drake Nugent if the 49ers are going to keep him. So I hope he catches on. And, man, I would be happy if he won the starting job. I just don't think that's possible with Chris Forster around and the ransom notes and all the different things that Jake Brendel has on this coaching staff. He will be the starter if he stays healthy. So Drake Nugent got some ground to make up. Hope he does. And for us in the 49ers rush team, we'll just keep counting them down.